Well, Tom, thanks for joining me today. Really excited to talk about your experience with Lean Six Sigma course and, more importantly, the improvement project you delivered for Surrey County Council. So, how are you doing today?
Hi, Martin. Yeah, I'm very well, thank you. And thank you for taking the time to meet with me today. And I'm looking forward to going through some of the elements of the project. Yeah.
Fantastic. So, could you give us an overview of the challenge your team was facing with the capital infrastructure schemes and the assessment program before you implemented the Lean Six Sigma principles?
Yeah. So frequently the assessment program, which is scheduled to be completed in a year, overruns to the next financial year. So this will only create a backlog with the assessments, but also not only that, just a capital program for infrastructure schemes. So
Okay, so it sounds like there were some delays causing a ripple effect across the team's ability not to just meet assessment targets, but also to prepare for future schemes, if I remember correctly. So, what was the turning point that made you realize that Lean Six Sigma can be the solution there?
yeah, so initially I noticed a few key areas where minor changes could have big effect on the delays and with little resources required to actually put it in place. I looked through a few different processes on the improvement in ideas in Lean Six Sigma, and these sort of helped me see how I can actually create an improvement process using a few tools and implementing them with standard activities for our work.
Okay, brilliant. So now, obviously, Lean Six Sigma is all about identifying inefficiencies, tackling root causes, and driving the measurable improvements. With that in mind, could you walk us through the key steps that you took during the project to address these delays? I mean, what tools or techniques stood out to you?
Yeah, so once I learned about the DMAC improvement process, I knew the sort of direction I had to go with to create a benchmark for this project. So briefly go over that DMAC. So I defined the scope of the project I was creating, highlight key data points to measure the current performance and estimated improvement I was looking to achieve. I then identified different causes of some of the delays and analyzed those changes for improvement. Some of the tools additionally used were cause and effect diagram, for example, or flow charts of the actual process start to finish. And once I had all the data for current delays, I sort of summarized it all as my benchmark data. So then I could start to implement improvement processes and controls to put in place.
Right. So let's talk about collaboration for the moment. How did your team respond to the changes? Did you notice any shifts in how they approach their work or engage with the projects?
Yeah, so due to the process involving few third parties such as our principal contractor, lead consultant, had a few concerns how easily some of the changes could be actually applied with everyone sort of cooperating together as a team. And since we had all the data already collected, I was able to present that together in a sort of meeting with them to show them the improvement estimation I sort of was hoping to create using Lean Six Sigma. And everyone was happily on board actually. So the change not only improved our process, but theirs on their side as well. So we could sort of easily write these out as our next steps as a team.
That's really good news overall. And what were the results of the project? Were there any specific efficiency gains or measurable improvement that you were particularly proud of?
Yeah, so we saved some time and cost on repeat activities, program efficiency and collaboration. So the actual program overall resulted in just over 12% cost saving over the year. And we also saved a few months of the program, which should help with our future programs and sort of remove that backlog.
It's fantastic. Now, when you think about councils and public sector organizations, efficiency and resource management are often the top priorities. So, from your perspective, how do you think Lean Six Sigma can benefit other councils facing similar challenges?
I mean, I agree that efficiency and resource management are quite important for public sector organizations. So I think Lean Six Sigma isn't just a tool; it also helps you view the process from a different perspective and help you. It can help other council analyze the data to highlight areas from which can be improved, made more efficient, and provide better services. So that, yeah, definitely.
Now, you've made impressive impact, Tom, no doubts about it. So finally, what would you say to someone in the council who is considering Lean Six Sigma, but might be unsure if it's worth the investment?
Yeah, so I would encourage them to write out a process that you currently have in place and the issues faced, so what impact it's had on their present time and if it has a knock-on effect in the long run. And if they're quite familiar with the current process, I believe they should be able to know what changes are feasible to implement and standardize in their sector. And if they have a list of those potential improvements, or they can't find potential improvements, actually, they could find that using Lean Six Sigma has the tools to collect that data and put an improvement in place.
Tom, thank you very much for sharing your experience. Fantastic project. A brilliant example of how Lean Six Sigma can create real value, especially in the sector where efficiency and forward planning are so important. I am sure that your story will inspire other councils to explore similar opportunities.
Yeah, it's great. It's been a great experience working through Lean Sigma and rewarding seeing the results we could achieve in such a short time. So yeah, thank you for having me, Martin.
Thanks again, Tom. It's been a pleasure speaking with you, and I look forward to seeing how your work continues to make a difference for Surrey County Council and maybe somewhere else as well. So thank you once again, Tom.
Thank you, Martin.